Imagine the scene. The State Farm Arena in Atlanta is full of nervous fans, and all of a sudden, there is a crushing silence. Caitlin Clark, the rising star of the Indiana Fever, is on the floor clutching her ankle in pain. Fans, teammates, and even opponents seem to stop for a moment. But this isn't a sad story. It's the story of a young athlete who refuses to give up, because that very night, Caitlin CLK would not only return to the court, but she would also help her team win a crucial game, leaving everyone in awe of her determination and skill. She would try to block the shot from high up, but this time, she would try again from a different spot. And this time, it would connect. The crowd goes crazy. This could have changed everything for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. It's a moment that makes us wonder what really makes a WNBA star. Talent statistics or something more? That you can really understand how what happened in Atlanta first. We need to understand that Caitlin Clark isn't just another new player in the league. She's been a change since she got there. With a great record, Force is changing what it means to be a professional basketball player. Clark quickly became one of the most interesting and useful players in the league. But the stats only tell part of the story. Clark's real contribution is to the team as a whole. Her court vision and ability to make accurate plays have changed the offense for the Fever. Clark's ability to make things happen has helped peers like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell have some of the best seasons of their careers. For the WNBA as a whole, Clark has been like a shot of adrenaline. Her arrival coincided with a big rise in TV viewers and social media engagement. She's bringing in new fans and getting people who had never watched a WNBA game before to do so regularly. It's in this context that we arrive at the fateful night in Atlanta, where every game is important because the teams are fighting for a playoff spot. Little did anyone know that they were about to see a moment that would test not only Clark's physical skills, but also her mental strength and character as an athlete. It happened early in the second quarter and stopped everyone's heart. Clark was doing what she does best, which is making plays and keeping the Atlanta Dream's defense on high alert. All of a sudden, everything changed as she tried to make a quick move. Clark took a wrong step, and her scream of pain echoed through the arena as she fell to the ground and grabbed her left ankle. There was complete silence, and people reacted in a wide range of ways. Worried looks on her friends' faces as they rushed to her aid. Christy Sides quickly called for the medical team with a worried look on her face. Even the Dream players looked shook. They knew they were seeing something that could be very bad for the league. In the stands, fans were shocked. Many were covering their mouths with their hands, while others yelled words of support as Clark was helped off the court, limping. Talk began about whether it was a mild sprain or something more serious. How long would she be out? And how would the Fever, who were already struggling for a playoff spot, handle losing their star? The minutes that followed were tense. The game went on, but it seemed like all the players, coaches, and fans were thinking about something else. They were waiting for news. The Indiana Fever struggled to keep their rhythm without their main point guard, while the Dream tried to take advantage of the situation. It was during this time of uncertainty that we saw the true character of the Indiana Fever shine through. As if the whole team had decided that they wouldn't let Clark's and their Dream slip through their fingers, Kelsey Mitchell took over as offensive leader, and Aaliyah Boston stepped up her defensive presence. Then, as if from a movie script, the moment no one expected happened. Isidore. When Clark got off the bench and walked over to the scoreboard to check on the game, it was like electricity went through the court. The arena was filled with cheers, and even some Dream fans couldn't hold back their admiration. But the big question was, how would Clark do after her injury? The answer came quickly and clearly. When she got the ball, Clark hit a three-pointer that sent the Fever fans into a frenzy. She doesn't shoot threes that easily or that comfortably, but her return had an immediate effect that went beyond what she did. The mood of the whole team changed. Aliyah Boston, who was already having a good game, seemed to get even better. She became more decisive in the paint, which led to several great pick-and-roll plays with Clark. Kelsey Mitchell, who had been in charge of the offense while Clark was away, now seemed more free to make up her own plays. In the last quarter, Clark and Mitchell's connection was the defense's worst nightmare. But it wasn't just the attack that got better. Clark's presence seemed to motivate the whole team to steal and stop contested rebounds. The Fever played each possession like it was the last one of the game, and Clark was everywhere, giving out precise plays, grabbing important rebounds, and yes, scoring important points. Her mobility seemed a little restricted, but her basketball smarts made up for any physical flaws. With about 2 minutes left in the game and the score close, Clark led the fast break, and instead of trying to score herself, made a spectacular pass to Damiris DTS, who made the three-pointer. The play not only increased the Fever's lead, but it also showed what a great team player Clark is. The most impressive thing about all of this is that Clark finished the game with 19 points, which would make any player in peak physical condition envious. She had 7 assists and 7 rebounds, but what really stood out was her leadership and drive. Every time she limped a little after a play, but stayed on the court, it showed how strong she was. Now that we've looked at how Clark's performance affected things right away, it's important to think about what this momentous event will mean in the future. Clark's health will be the most important thing. Even though she came back to the game and played very well, ankle injuries are dangerous, and the Indiana Fever will have to carefully balance their need to have their star player on the court with the need to make sure her long-term health. How the medical team handles this in the coming weeks will be crucial not only for this season, but possibly for Clark's entire career from a strategic point of view. NBA teams will have to rethink how they plan to defend against the Fever, because Clark's mental toughness adds a new dimension to the mental game. Opposing teams now know that even if they manage to contain Clark initially, she has the mental strength to overcome adversity and still dominate the game. The road ahead for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever is far from certain. There will be more challenges and moments of adversity, but what happened in Atlanta showed that they have the talent and determination to face any problem that comes their way. As the end of the regular season approaches, questions become more important. Can the Fever keep their playoff spot? Can Clark keep playing at such a high level of basketball? If they make the playoffs, how will the young star handle the even greater pressure of postseason basketball? Every shot seems to have a lot of weight, and every possession could mean the difference between glory and failure. It's times like these when legends are made, and we're all lucky to be a part of them. The stage is set for a season ending that looks like it will be really epic. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are about to do something amazing. The only question now is whether they can seize the moment and turn this amazing journey into something truly historic. After all the excitement and emotional ups and downs we've been through with Caitlin and the Indiana Fever, we can't just sit back and do nothing, right? Why wait to watch an Indiana Fever game this season if you haven't already? Put their next game on your calendar, because I promise you won't want to miss the next part of this amazing story. But it doesn't end there. If you have friends who don't think women's basketball is exciting, show them what they're missing out on by sharing this video with them. Also, if you get the chance, go to a live game. There's nothing like the energy in a WNBA arena. You won't just be watching a game, you'll be a part of history. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think will happen with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Will they make the playoffs? Will Clark keep up this amazing level of play? Your feedback is valued and helps build an active fan group. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. It's an exciting time for the WNBA, and you won't want to miss any news. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.